I need you to know that you're enough. I need you to know that you're qualified. I need you to know that all you have is all you need. You are an unrepeatable miracle, and there is none like you in all of the earth. And if nobody told you today, let me be the first to tell you, there is none like you in all of the earth. Your DNA, your footprint, your fingerprint, your purpose, your calling, your destiny, your mindset, your mentality. And I'm just wondering if you are bold enough and courageous enough to believe what I'm saying. You are enough. And the truth of the matter is, what you think is pain, what you think is hurting you, is actually helping you. And I'm just wondering if maybe you could just change the way that you think. Maybe if you could just see this thing differently. I know they left you, they hurt you, it left you, it hurt you. And you feel like you're just in this place where you can't move forward. See it differently. You've been too focused on the people that don't like you, the people that don't support you, the people that told you to write the book, and then when you released it, they never bought it. You've been too focused on the past childhood traumas. You've been too focused on who was not there for you and who did not believe in you, and the people that just said it but didn't do it. The trauma, the anxiety, and I'm wondering if you can begin to shift that focus in the next 30 days, if you can begin to shift that focus on what's working in your life, what's within your control, and not what's outside of your control. What can you control? Who can you influence? The first person that needs to be influenced in your life is you. It's you. And I'm just wondering if you're courageous enough, bold enough, if you have enough faith, come on, if you have enough inside of you, resilience to come back to the scene. It starts with me and the man upstairs, and it ends right here.
Our lives don't get better by chance. They get better by change. Change is one of the necessary laws of life. Remember this: action and adaptability create opportunity. Adapt and overcome, and watch everything change before your eyes. Adaptability isn't just some secret for survival. It is the power to build the future. Adaptability is the capacity to be modified for a new purpose, to be moved this way and still punch through targets and reach my goals and be everything I've been called to be, but I've got to adapt to the times. Adaptability requires movement. Adaptability requires growth. Adaptability requires wisdom and knowledge and understanding and revelation and awareness. We've got to be able to recognize when we're outdated, when we need an upgrade, when we've got to go to that next level, and I can't be embarrassed about it. Adaptability is not buckling under pressure. Adaptability is understanding that in order for me to have this lifestyle that I see in my head, I'm going to have to raise my standards. This is an adjustment. This is a modification. That in times past, this version of me was good enough, but it only got me where I am. And in order for me to go to that next level, something inside of me has to change. So when you face storm, when you face adversity, when you face trial, when you face tribulation, in the eye of the storm, in the middle, in the core of your devastation, when you are faced with opposition, that's when you raise the heat. You don't change your message, you change your methodology. Are you understanding me? Adaptability is not buckling under pressure. Adaptability is not losing your moral compass. Adaptability is raising your voice. And so the harder life hits me, the harder I'm going to fight, the harder I'm going to believe, the harder I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep going, I will persevere, and I'm going to build resilience. And so the harder life hits, the stronger I get. You've got problem-solving skill, you've got a resilience, you have a determination, you have a measure of commitment that nobody in the room has because you've been able to adapt. And for many of us, we are in the halftime of our destiny. And if you're going to win, you are going to have to make the adjustments, the necessary modifications to have your future. When I become more flexible, more agile, more adaptable, Another thing that happens is that we build our inner resilience. And this isn't just about honing in on your problem-solving skills, but resilience literally changes your brain. It changes your operating systems. It shifts your behavior. Resilience empowers you to build new habits. It's not running from your programming. It's upgrading. It's taking it to the next level. The necessary growth strategies, necessary modification, personality adjustment, attitude upgrades, the wise adapt themselves to the circumstances like water molds itself to the pitcher. To understand the revelation of adaptability is to realize that life is lived on levels. I've got angles, I've got approaches. That destiny is in the details. It's how I see this thing. It's how I can adjust my thinking. It's how I can upgrade my inner software. At some point, you got to sit back and think to yourself, you know what? I've been here too long. I've thought like this too long. I've hurt too long. I've been fractured long enough. I've been depressed long enough. You know what? I've been here too long. It's time for me to go. We all have to get here where we realize we have not adapted to the current times. And this is not a departure from authenticity. This is not losing yourself. This is finding your next level. The question is, are you willing to adapt? Adaptability is the bridge to the future. I need to be able to adapt cognitively. I got to be able to adapt emotionally, my personality, my behavior, my language, my thinking. I've got to be able to adapt. And it is only when I'm willing to accept this reality that I can have my future. When I become more flexible, more agile, more adaptable, another thing that happens is that we build our inner resilience. And this isn't just about honing in on your problem-solving skills, but resilience literally changes your brain. It shifts your behavior. It's time to break through. You've lost long enough. You've been in your learning season long enough. It's time to apply what you've learned. Adaptability is not buckling under pressure. Adaptability is not losing your moral compass. Adaptability is raising your voice. You got to start thinking about the future. You've got to start thinking about sustainability. You got to start thinking about future generations. Your perspective, how you see this thing, how you approach this thing, the angles that you take, the approaches, the mentalities, just one little tweak in the game. And there is a future for your family. And this is the power of understanding that if I can make a few tweaks, if I can make a few adjustments, if I can see this thing just a hair differently, winner by a hair. Have you ever heard that? There are champions that win by a hair because they made an adjustment. There are golf players and basketball players and football players and soccer players and fighters and warriors and NASCAR drivers and champions and lecturers and teachers and students, movie directors and artists and people all over the globe who have made adjustments, who have adapted to a circumstance, who have adapted, who have modified and tweaked their game and beat on their craft and got the trophy. This is why there's power in mentorship, because a mentor will show you something you didn't see. A coach will pull something out of you that you never knew was there. The ability to adapt, to make a tweak, to make an adjustment. It's the group of employees that's been called to work 2 more hours. It's the team that's been called to win a championship in the snow or rain or sleet, or the weather's changed, or now all of a sudden the crowd is no longer cheering your name. Can you adapt? This is the question. This is the golden ticket. Everybody wants to win, and everybody wants new zip codes and area codes, and everybody wants impact and influence. But if I don't have adaptability, I'll never have my future. This is the last day you are going to allow this giant to defy you. If it's going to happen, but you're going to have to eliminate excuses. Truth is, everybody's got purpose. If you don't apply what you hear, you won't get what you want. Here's what we do know. Life doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get more forgiving. We just get stronger and we get more resilient. And the truth of the matter is, it is so convenient to make an excuse. I want to give you just a few things that you can do to help you to stop making excuses, to help you to stop habitually gravitating to the place called convenience. The race is not given to the strong nor the swift, but it is given to he that endureth until the end. One thing I know is that we've all been hit with a measure of adversity at some point in our life. Everybody listening to me has been hit with a measure of trauma. If you can hear my voice, you've got work to do. You've got a destiny to fulfill. You've got a purpose to walk into. You've got a test to pass. You've got dots to connect, rooms to walk in, stages to stand on, and tables to sit down at.
I know it hasn't been easy, but it's time to win. You are going to need vision. Before you win, you're going to have to see it. David saw himself winning this battle. He saw it, he spoke it, he experienced it. If you can see it, you can have it.
We all want to do something. We all want to be somebody. We all want to go somewhere. If these things are going to happen, we've got to stop habitually gravitating to excuse. Rule number one, kill the comparison game. Well, I don't do it like them, and I don't say it like them, and I'm not as tall as them, and I'm not as strong as them, and I don't have the money that they have. I don't have the resources that they have. The reason why I couldn't do it is because my parents weren't there for me, and the reason why I didn't get to go to college on a full ride because my coach, he didn't create the highlight reel for the sports scholarship. The reason why, and so we're just programmed to blame everybody else. When will you look in the mirror and stop comparing yourself to everybody else?
This is what we know. We know this. Could have been a sudden or unexpected death of a loved one. Could have been an accident, life-threatening illness or injury, sexual assault, mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional trauma, sudden violent death in the family, the loss of a child, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, exposure to drugs and alcohol, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety. One thing we know is that adversity, conflict, trauma does not discriminate. We are all acquainted with pain. Many of you listening to me know what it's like to lose everything. You know what it's like to hit rock bottom. You know what it's like not to be supported. You know what it's like to be lied on. You know what it's like to experience emotional, relational, and psychological trauma. And it changes you because you don't know what you are made of until you have gone through something.
On the other side of your fear is a fulfilled destiny. How bad do you want it? Whatever your giant may be, name the giant. You will defy me no more. You will defy me no more. When your giant defies you, when your giant teases you, when your giant attempts to trap you and remind you of your present and your past, remind your giant of its future. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. No more will you haunt me. Goliath is dead. In this life, there will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be giants. What has defeated you? What is your giant? Name it. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it insecurity? Is it In this life, there will always be a man, a woman, who will face impossible odds.
Goliath! There will be many giants in your life. There will be depression. There will be anxiety. There will be oppression. There will be stress. There will be overwhelm. Will you buckle under the pressure, or will you rise to the occasion?
They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. And if you've made your excuses bigger than your dream, the time is now to apply pressure. I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. I don't know where you're from or where you're listening to me. You may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. People that make excuses are not connected to their destination.
If you are going to defeat your giant, if you are going to defy the odds, if you're going to remove the lids and the labels, if you are going to step and venture into uncharted territory, you are going to have to master the art of rising early. There will be times in your life where you are going to have to face giants that nobody will face. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 32, and David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine. David had already had it made up in his mind. David was fully persuaded that he would defeat the Philistine. And for many of you, you will never have your future until you are fully persuaded that you are a carrier of everything required to fulfill your destiny. If nobody believes in you, you gotta make it up in your mind that all you have is all you need. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, but thou art but a youth, and he is a man of war from his youth. It's interesting to me because David was doubted by a king. David was doubted by a man that was a carrier of the disease called fear. And there are going to be people who are going to attempt to talk you out of your destiny. They will attempt to talk you out of your dream. They will tell you that your dream is too big. They will tell you that your destiny cannot be fulfilled. They will tell you it is impossible to accomplish what you have set out to accomplish. For many of you, you're just not tired enough yet. You haven't hit rock bottom. You're not desperate enough. You're not hungry and thirsty enough for it. And this is why you can't show up in the world of consistency. We get deeply immersed in the whirlpool of another version of ourselves every single day. For me, it's deeper than get up at 2 a.m. and grind. Because I can get up, get dressed, get in my car, get to the gym, and sit on my phone. And so really the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we implementing the information that we know? What we've written down, what we're listening to, what we know to do? Are we doing it? Are we implementing? Many of you are too ambiguous with your future. Not only are we not aware of who we are, but we have no idea where we're going and why we're going there. Once we get identity, our why and our where, our mission, our purpose. I do this thing effortlessly. I do this thing at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I can lose sleep. I can miss a meal. You can step out of my life and I'm just going to keep going. When it seems as though life has not only got me sliding down a wall, but it's knocked me flat on my back, all of a sudden, I've got a bounce back in me because I'm disciplined, I'm calculated, I'm principled, I'm aimed.
I know who I am, and I know where I'm going. I don't know how many of you need to hear this, but this is the hour that you climb out of the depression, walk out of this thing, run out of this thing, claw out of this thing, crawl out of this thing. But today, you come out. Be on your craft, execute, show up, forgive, love, build, create, believe, try again. The question isn't, are you consistent? The question is, can you implement? Can you execute? Can you do what is right? Can you handle the uphill war of significance? Anything worthwhile is uphill. It requires a rewiring, a redirection, and a 180. That's the rate of learning. It's not about how much you can write down. It's not just about the conferences and the coaching. It's, are you going to follow through? No more depression, no more anxiety. Bye blame game, bye anger. Somebody drop in the comments something you want to say goodbye to today. Bye to complaining, bye to arrogance, bye to pride, bye to comparisons, bye to negotiating myself out of my purpose and my destiny. Goodbye to divorcing my future and telling myself I don't have what it takes, I can't do it, I'll start Monday. Everything that is disempowered you has to leave. We need accountability. We need constructive analysis. We need coaching and mentorship. We need friends that are not going to be afraid to tell us when we've gotten off kilter. We need to make the investments required to be planted in community to optimize our performance in everyday life. That we show up personally so we can show up professionally. That everything I do behind the scenes, in the dark room, in the places where nobody can see me, I've got character, I'm principled, I've got integrity. And as a result, I dominate in public. See, the question isn't, are you consistent, right? Because consistency is a system of stability and regularity and uniformity. And you can be consistently lazy. And you can consistently quit on the meal plan. And you can be consistently angry. And you can be consistently and habitually and religiously jealous and envious and going into relationships with an agenda that serves you and not the person. Seeing the relationship as a place to receive instead of give. You can consistently show up in this world the wrong person every single day with your costume and your mask on. Underneath all of the layers of the facade lies the real you. We all know that we can execute in the dimension of consistency. The question is, can you do what is required to fulfill your purpose? Can you do what it takes? Can you implement? Can you execute? Can you be tactical? Are you disciplined? Are you principled? Do you possess courage to walk in purpose and to fulfill your destiny? Have you trained your brain to do not what you feel like doing, but what is required of you in order to achieve an outcome? And so I don't care if you have to listen to me 1,000 times. Maybe you're just streaming the audio, but if you're watching me online, I just want you to drop in the comments, implementation. Implementation is the process of putting a decision or a plan in effect. This is execution. This is application. This is carrying out. This is the uphill war between what I feel like doing and what I know I have to do. I think sometimes we forget how connected we are in this great circle of life, that if it's not a spouse, it's a mom. If it's not a mom, it's a dad. If it's not a sister, it's a brother. Somebody is depending on you to win. What if we could rewire that consistency? That as faithful as we have been to destroying our own lives, we could be that faithful to building something so beautiful and leaving a legacy. At the root and brunt of the blow of trauma and pain and agony lies a man or a woman who doesn't know who they are. And so every single day, they live vicariously through the lives of others. And they show up in the workplace, and they show up at home, and they show up in every room that they walk in. Every single day, another version of themselves, spiraling farther and farther from the place of grace and execution and confidence and courage and prowess and excellence. Whether you're walking, running, lifting, meditating, sitting in your closet, crying in your car, sliding down the wall, beating on your chest, looking yourself in the mirror, but you've come to the resolve that this is the end of this version of me. I know who I am. Give me my crown. I don't say that braggadociously, but I recognize that all of a sudden the ashes and the scales fall off of my eyes. I'm royalty. It's hard to be poor, and it's hard to be wealthy, and it's hard to give up, and it's hard to let yourself go, and it's hard to not believe in yourself. And it's hard to wake up every single day. Try again.